Hey everyone, I just wanted to take a moment to thank Avinity Media for helping make the Alpha Club a reality. Check out more of their work with featured artist Mizzy Mans and his latest single Loner, streaming now on every major platform.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back
Yeah.
to the first ever recording of the Alpha Club podcast after the release of our first two episodes. You can find them on Spotify and Apple Music. Please feel free to rate 5 stars. If you want to rate something else than 5 stars, respectfully, your opinion does not matter. You mind? You think I need to be turned down a little bit? Or am I good?
No. Honestly, it's probably your headset volume.
Maybe.
Does that thing have an external volume switch?
Yeah,
on it?
it's got it.
Yeah. So, other than that, I mean, you sound fine to me.
Cool. Happy Thanksgiving, Steve.
Yes. We have just passed Thanksgiving. How was yours?
It was, I'd say, uneventful, doing the whole 2 Thanksgiving things, you and your sister driving down the road, waving at the other divorced kids
Yeah,
on the oncoming lane.
I was about to say, yeah, no, I totally get it. It is funny. I mean, it's not funny, but it's funny. Like,
Once you get over the divorce, luckily for me, it was like 20 years ago ish, maybe 18.
were you were super young?
First grade. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. See, I was. Man, I don't even know how old I was. I was pretty old. I mean, I was probably like 10.
Yeah, I made a joke to my mom the other day. It wasn't the other day, but it was maybe like a couple weeks ago. I was being bitter about something. I don't remember what it was. And she was texting me and she was like, I brought you into this world, so like don't be so bitter about it. And I was like, 2 college kids got drunk, had sex, don't even love each other anymore, and now I have to pay taxes.
How'd you respond to that?
She said, fair enough.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I guess that could have gone one of 2 ways.
Yeah.
And luckily, it went the better way.
Yeah.
Because honestly, knowing your mom, I was fully expecting you to get your ass kicked.
She doesn't. I've remembered all of her moves. There's not a combo in the world she could use against me right now.
Well, I guess that's good.
Yeah.
Well, for you, probably not for her.
Yeah.
She's probably gonna listen to this and be like, "That son of a bitch."
Yeah. Did you go out on Wednesday? The what do they call that? That like
I don't know.
The
There's like
Thanksgiving Eve.
There's a bunch of different names for the terminology. I forget one I heard this year that was the first time I ever heard it, and I can't remember what it was, but I'll remember it and I'll say it. But yes, I did go out on Wednesday. My brothers. It was the first time in a while that I wasn't really planning on it, but it was the first time that they both collectively were like, "Yeah, we're going out," and I was like, "Okay, I'll go with you guys."
Yeah, this is the first time I ever actually went out. COVID kind of screwed it when I turned 21, but
But to be honest, well, I did it last year, like last minute. I was actually at my buddy's house for like the whole night, and then like around like 10 or 11 o'clock when everyone was going home from his house, one of my friends texted me and was like, "Hey, come to the bar. Like, I summon you to the bar." And I was like, "Fuck it, all right, I'll go to the bar." And I ended up being there until they closed. It was pretty fun though. I mean, I enjoy it for what it is. A lot of people don't like seeing like people from their past,
yeah, I'm guilty of
like
that.
their childhood. I think it's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Because there's 2 things. So like, first of all, at least where I'm from, it is a high school reunion to go to, like, oh, actually it is like a childhood reunion to go out on Thanksgiving Eve. And you really notice the people that that are going out of their way to avoid you, and I think it is so funny to like just watch, because like I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care in the slightest. Like, I don't even care if we had beef. I didn't have beef with anyone in high school, but I don't even care if I had beef with you. Like, I'm fucking 20, almost 24 years old. Like, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah. I went out, so I did not go out to the bar that everybody I graduated with went to. I kind of wish I did, but I wanted to test a theory, which I think I may have almost confirmed. But I went out in a different town that has a lot more bars rather than just like the local bar. And so in high school, we weren't allowed to do superlatives because they were I guess people could.
Someone probably ruined it. Yeah.
Yeah, it can be considered as bullying or whatever.
Really? Well, I
don't
mean, I
know.
can see that.
I could see it, but so we did our own senior superlatives, and we did like fake ones. I was voted most likely to be vaguely remembered, and
Really?
I thought it was the funniest thing ever.
That's kind of hurtful.
I love it. I wouldn't, honest to God, would not have it any other way. And I ran into, so when I was leaving the bar that I was at, I went home pretty early. I'm not even gonna lie. I was in bed by like 11:30. But I walked past a group of people who I recognized them, and they looked at me, and like one of the guys like gave me like a look, and he was like, I'm bet in his head he's like, do I know that guy? Because I just vaguely remembered, but I actually did run into a group of guys that I was kind of, I would say, acquaintances with, and it was cool to see them. But
yeah, because now this year was kind of weird because I ended up getting stuck in more conversations for longer periods of time that I didn't really. Well, to be honest, actually, I didn't really spend a whole lot of money because since I was stuck in conversations the whole time, people just kept handing me beers. Like my brother would be like, point at me, and I'd be like, yes.
yeah,
And he would just go buy another beer. And I think I spent like $15.
that's
Right?
where
Right.
I went. It was expensive.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was $5 for a beer.
Oh no,
So I bought
Yeah.
I only bought 3 beers. That's all I paid for.
yeah, it was $20 cover, and so it's a 23 and up bar.
That's so weird.
Very weird.
Well, I guess it takes all the college people out in theory.
Yeah,
well,
so the crowd
theoretically.
was definitely more tamed. You definitely saw a lot of big finance guys and their big finance guy vests,
Yeah.
their Patagonia vests branded. None of them were branded. None of them were
I
that
manage
important.
accounts.
I manage accounts. But it was like my buddy and I were just doing round for round, and I think I drank like 3 gin and tonics, and it was probably like $60.
Oh, well,
No, maybe because I was buying for him too. So I think it was like $10 a drink. Maybe, yeah, $10 a drink sounds about right. And then I got a beer, and it was like $9.
yeah. I mean, that's pretty ridiculous there. But, I mean, was it at least a good gin and tonic?
It wasn't bad. They were handing out actual glassware, which I like.
No, yeah, you don't find that often, especially bars that are.
But they were
crowded.
they didn't. It was just one glass, like type of glass. So it wasn't like if you got a gin and tonic, you got like a glass of gin and tonic.
yeah.
You were getting them in like mojito glasses.
Did they have glasses when we went to that place in New Jersey?
God, I hope not. It would have been a nightmare if they did. I don't think they did.
I could have sworn for some reason I had a vague memory of
Maybe
of
I think when
hauling around
my
glasses.
sister's boyfriend bought us shots, they were in glasses, shot glasses.
No, it was the second bar that had actual glass. I think.
I think you're right, but we only got beer at that bar.
Well, your sister bought me a
Oh, one of the tequila pineapples.
I don't think it was. I think it was vodka.
Oh, that's what. Maybe.
But anyways, it was delicious.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what it was. She just kind of handed it to me because I thought we were getting a free fucking pizza with it.
Yeah, that was very disappointing.
Oh, I mean, we walked for I don't even know how long it was
3
because
miles.
my mind was just on not dropping your other sister.
Yeah, you carried my stepsister like
yeah.
3 miles.
Yeah. It felt like forever. You
Yeah.
guys were just having a casual conversation while I'm sitting here sweating.
Yeah, you were doing the most, I would say.
Well, I honestly expected when I said that jokingly, I expected her to just like not stay on my back the whole time.
Yeah. Oh no, she was fully expecting you to carry her the entire way.
Yeah. Well,
Which
it is what
did.
it is.
The
Again,
only-
I made that bed. I had to sleep in it. That
yeah.
one.
Well,
no giving
actually,
up.
you
I didn't wanna
slept
look-
on the couch next to me, but yes.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to look like a bitch, so I wasn't gonna.
Yeah,
drop,
that's fair.
You know, I wasn't gonna be like, oh, it's too much.
The only eventful thing that happened on Thanksgiving Eve was to the girl who cornered my buddy and I outside the store labeled grilled cheese. I hope to God that you came to your senses and did not take that $130 Uber to Jersey City, and you walked to the train station that was 30 feet away. And I wish you well.
Yeah.
I hope you had a nice Thanksgiving.
That's pretty tragic there.
Yeah.
And you know what? With that grilled cheese place, I wonder if did they have that name trademarked? There's no way,
Well, okay,
right?
so I don't know if it was called grilled cheese, but the sign outside just said grilled cheese.
Was it open?
Yeah. Yeah, I got a pork and mac and cheese, grilled cheese, and it was fucking excellent.
I fucking bet.
My buddy got the Jersey Boy. I'm sure you can imagine what was on that.
Yeah.
Taylor ham, egg. No, actually, there was no egg. It was Taylor ham, cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup.
Yeah. Okay.
I would, to be fair, I would not want egg on a grilled cheese.
It's kind of odd, but I bet you it's not bad.
I bet you if it was a fried egg.
I mean, people
right.
get like grilled breakfast sandwiches all the time.
Yeah, like a panini.
Right. So I can imagine that it would be kind of similar to that, just with like more cheese.
Yeah, it was sourdough, so it was an oval,
That's
but it was
pretty cool.
cut into triangles.
Okay.
So good.
Oh, exquisite.
Um,
Very good taste.
Yeah, the town. So where I went out, it was just like the lines were like 2 hours. Luckily, the place that we went to, we got there at like 9, so we walked straight in pretty much. But I'm not waiting in no 2-hour line to go anywhere in my home area.
Yeah. I didn't have to wait anywhere, surprisingly. Well, I only really went to 2 bars. And the first one I sat down at to eat and had a couple drinks. Actually, my brother and his, for some reason, he looked at me. We both didn't know what to get to drink. I knew it was going to be like I was going to get a beer, but he looked at me and he's like, you want a Jaeger shot?
Ooh.
And I was like, fuck it. All right, I'll take a Jaeger shot. And
You didn't want a Cosmopolitan?
no, never.
Have you ever had a Cosmo?
I don't actually know if I have, to be honest.
I don't think I have either, but it sounds kind of good.
Well, I mean, if you're into that.
I remember when I was...
We ended up doing 2 more Jaeger shots at this fucking place, by the way. This is we're sitting down at a restaurant. It's a bar and restaurant, and it has both sides. So, like, we were sitting at the restaurant part where there's families around us.
Yeah.
And we're just pounding Jaeger shots.
Well, that's like where everyone went in my hometown.
Not even bombs or anything, just straight Jaeger.
Like I was talking to my stepdad, and he was like, "Oh, I'm surprised you didn't go to that one bar in town." And I was like, "Well, yeah, I mean that's like where everyone I graduated with went." And he was like, "Oh, I was there." But he was like, "I was there for like 6:30 for dinner." But like, I was like, "Nah, I know your ass was in there at like 10 o'clock ripping shots." But like,
I probably could have. I mean, and all in all, it was still a pretty fun night. I got to see some people I never really get to see. And
yeah, that's the one thing, because there are people I've definitely like enjoyed to run into, but there's also people who I was just like probably never want to see again, and for no other reason than just like because I don't want to. I don't have to provide a reason.
Yeah, right. But I forget what I was gonna say. I can't, dude. It's bothering me that I can't remember what this person called the day before Thanksgiving, and because it was just very off the wall. It was like a dumb pun. Oh, it was someone said it was along the lines of like beers giving or something like that.
Beers giving, that's good. All right.
And I was just kind of like, really, like you're trying a little hard with that one.
Yeah.
Like, because it doesn't even really flow that well.
You know? No, it's. I would call that forced.
Yeah, because it's not like Friendsgiving kind of rolls off the tongue.
Or like Desperation Day, which is the day before Valentine's Day.
Is that a real thing?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what I say. I mean, they said it in How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, listen, I'm not as well versed in that show as a lot of my friends are. So like those sometimes go over my head.
Yeah. Thanksgiving in itself was a bit of a... So obviously 2 Thanksgivings, 2 parents divorced. My dad did it on Wednesday, and it was only Italian food, which was awesome because I didn't want to eat like 2 Thanksgivings in a row. So that was good. But now that a little background. I used to have a very small family. Now I have a very big family because of the divorces. My stepdad's got 5 sisters.
It's typically how that works.
Yeah. 5 sisters, so 6 aunts if you include my mother. And technically 7 if you include my mom's sister. Jesus Christ.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm burping. Try not to burp into the mic. But now that I became like the oldest, not the oldest grandchild, but like because like my stepdad's dad, so my step grandfather is also divorced. So he has, there's a lot of people. So I'm not the oldest grandchild, but like as far as on that part of it, I am.
Well, I mean, for me, my dad only has one brother. My mom's only child. My dad has one brother.
Yeah.
His brother is 11 years older than him.
Yeah. Well, my aunt is like 20 years younger than my mom.
Yeah, but so my my uncle, my dad's older brother, has he had 3 kids, and then he married someone. So he had 3 kids. I don't even know if they actually were married or not. I think it was possibly, but regardless, he remarried somebody that also had 3 kids, but they're all like 20 years older than me.
Yeah.
So like my only cousins really, aside from being like having, I've got a shitload of like second cousins and shit, but my only actual cousins are like 40 years old.
Yeah, like my only actual cousins are 39 and 33.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird. And
And
they all
then
they
there's
all
2
have their
more,
own
but they're also,
families
like,
and their
30-something. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, they have their own families and their own kids and shit, so like I don't even see them at holidays anymore.
Yeah. But anyway, it was like a weird 2-3 year period of like just by association being the drunkest guy at Thanksgiving. But now then my cousins are like, none of us, like everyone's in college now, like it's just like a pissing contest to see who can get the most fucked up in any given situation. So Thanksgiving has become a bit more chaotic per se. Luckily my mom hosted this year, so I didn't have to leave. But I didn't get as drunk as I did last year, which is good because I got really fucking drunk last year at Thanksgiving. Second to my cousin John, who got absolutely obliterated. Like, he's not even 21, but he was like hands and knees crawling around.
Is he in college at least?
Yeah, so he goes to school. His twin brother goes to a different school.
Mm.
It's very easy to tell them apart now because one is a beard and the other one's absolutely shredded.
Okay, but those are 2 very distinct things. Yes, you're right.
Not saying, James, I love you, but your brother is huge. Fucking, I lifted with him when I was home.
Yeah.
And then like we were doing back and buys and he like picked up his shirt a little bit and like flexed and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. I remember when I used to be able to beat you up. Now you can probably fucking snap me in half.
That reminds me, I'm really gonna. I love when there's holidays because the gyms are always so like open. You know?
Unless it's New Year's.
Yeah, but give it a week.
That's true.
Sometimes it's even days, but I give it a week and it pretty much goes away.
Yeah, I think getting in shape is a terrible New Year's resolution.
I
Be in
understand.
shape all the time.
Right. Just get off your ass, maybe.
Maybe.
Listen, I don't even care what you do. Listen, I would never sit here and be like, hey, everyone here needs to go hit the gym. Like, no, just get up, just walk.
Get up.
Like, get out of the house, go take a walk.
Yeah.
Any sort of slight exercise every day is like essential to your health.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
you would be surprised how much better you feel. Like, I've gotten to the point where, as of late, when I start to, like, my body starts to feel, like, sick, or I feel like coming down with something, or, like, my body starts to feel off, I'll go on a run, and, like, the next morning I'll wake up and I'll be, like, completely fine. Now, I don't know if that's exactly the right thing to do, but it fucking works for me.
Well, that's what I used to do. Instead of going to the doctor, I would run until I coughed everything out of my chest.
And then I'd be fine.
Yeah, and then I'd be fine. It has backfired on me before.
So
Once.
like if you're already super sick, then
Yeah.
it'll make it worse. But like if you catch it early enough, you can get your body to pretty much get rid of it before you like really get sick.
There's a very famous example of we were doing a ruck back in college, and I had bronchitis the week before, and it was like 10 degrees out, and we were going, it was like 8 miles. And I was with Morrison, who I know you're listening, Colin, so I do not feel bad for what we said about you on episode 2. Take it or leave it, but if you want to be a guest, just hit me up. Anyway, I was sucking. I was absolutely sucking wind. And I had my chest strap done up super tight because I undone my waistband, and Morrison unclipped my chest, and he said you could hear the air come back at me. He was like, and like the air just filled up my lungs.
Oh man.
You could tell because there's a couple of videos of me and Colin rucking, and in this particular one, there you could tell there was zero oxygen getting to my brain.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
that was one of the times trying to cough everything up backfired on me. But
Well, I mean, it eventually worked out.
it eventually worked out. I'm still here.
That's true. You are still here.
But
Well,
did you die?
Yeah. Well, on the topic of Friends, I kind of wanted to dive into Friends, and I kind of wanted to
The
dive
show? I hate it. Next.
No, I kind of wanted to dive into the difference between male friend groups and female friend groups.
Oh, do go on.
Yeah, we're getting a little edgy on this one.
Okay.
Well, to be honest, the one that's coming before this might be,
Oh, the one with Eric?
yeah, the Eric one
So-
might also border that line as well.
A little background for our listeners at home. We've recorded about 10 hours of episodes. But after thorough determination, we decided that we're not going to release them necessarily in order or at all. We got a really good one coming for you. It'll be Monday, which would be tomorrow.
Tomorrow. We'll have it out tomorrow.
It's hilarious. It's very informative. We also might have a exclusive episode coming out on a separate platform, but we won't get into that quite yet.
Yeah, no, we'll save that one. Save that one for later. But
Yeah, so if you hear us, if you hear in an episode like 2 weeks from now us talking about Halloween, these are not in order.
yeah. That one. We have talked, especially people that have listened to us or have communicated with us. We have talked about the infamous Halloween special episode.
Yeah.
We have, after careful determination, decided not to release that one at this moment. So that will be coming out, and when it does, I apologize in advance because it's probably gonna be fucking Christmas. But when we're gonna be talking about Halloween,
Merry Christmas. You get 4 dudes, 2 mics, and too much alcohol.
yeah. And actually, it could potentially work out because of The Nightmare Before Christmas is in fact a Christmas movie.
Yes. And a Halloween movie.
Right. So it could work out. It could make sense. But
By
we
the
don't
way,
know.
one of my favorite movies, Nightmare Before Christmas.
Really?
Okay, I'm not a huge Tim Burton fan.
Yeah, I'm not really either.
But I do like The Nightmare Before Christmas.
I mean, I'll give credit. It's probably the only one I like from him.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna be honest about it, but I'm not one of those people that's like a Die Hard.
Tim Burton fan.
Speaking of which, Die Hard's the best Christmas movie. Changed my mind.
Die Hard is the best Christmas movie.
Yeah. If anyone would disagree, I would like to respectfully tell you to fuck off.
Yeah.
It's the best Christmas movie. People sitting there like it's not a Christmas movie. It is a fucking Christmas movie.
Saving Private Ryan's also a Christmas movie.
Is it? It's been a while since I've seen Saving Private Ryan.
Didn't it? I think it came out around. No, didn't they release it on D-Day? June. Would it be June?
Well, that would be the summer.
I don't know. That was just a
Christmas
left field.
in July.
So get into it. What do you got for me?
Yeah, so just kind of the difference. So like I've been seeing stuff on TikTok, stuff on social media, like people talking about like toxic friends and toxic like friend groups and all that. And it had me thinking. I was like, when I ever like have something going on in my life, my friends actually like will snap me back into reality, and like they'll give me perspective, and they'll actually like legitimately give me something that's gonna help me.
Yeah.
I don't really see that with like I feel
With like female friend groups.
right. Like I feel like female friend groups are always very. And listen, this obviously doesn't apply to everybody,
No.
but like I feel like there's a lot of female friend groups, and you guys can't see this because this is only audio, but I'm doing quotes when I say friend groups because I feel like they're always like secretly enemies with each other.
Oh, 100%.
Like what the fuck?
So I have told this to a lot of my friends, and a lot of my friends have told this to me. To include you, I believe I told this to you. I'm going to gain, and you're going to gain absolutely nothing from me lying to you. So, like, if you ask me, like, something about a serious topic, I'm like, well, first of all, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to give you any false hope, because what do you gain from that?
True.
And I feel like girlfriend groups, like the number one example you see is a girl on social media who is, let's say, not in the greatest physical shape, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!" Like you can like hate me for this, but like everyone's like, oh my god, queen, like slay, like fit queen, like excellent body type, like wish I was you, goals. You are a fucking liar. You are an absolute fucking liar. If you're trying to tell some girl who cannot walk up a flight of stairs without getting winded that she's like body goals, what are you gonna? What are you giving her?
And listen, I respect the body positivity.
I respect the body positivity, and I respect like being nice.
Right, for the person, but giving someone like.
But then again, you're also not gonna put in the comments like yeah, oh you fucking cow, lose some fucking weight. But maybe offline. Right.
Well, you could make comments like you can make positive comments without providing false hope.
Or even like, oh, maybe if you're actually friends with that girl, be like, oh hey, like girly pop.
Is that how they talk, John?
I guess. Be like, hey, I'm going to the gym. You should come with me. And don't like force it. Be like, you need to go to the gym. You be like, hey, like I'm going to the gym. Like, you know, I need someone to go with.
At the end of the day, you can't force anything for anyone.
Yeah.
Like you can't force someone to think a certain way. You can't force someone to do something.
That is what we called totalitarianism.
Yeah, pretty much. But you can provide accurate and true information to someone in the hope you can at least provoke a thought.
Yes.
Or
plant the seed.
Provoke the idea of thinking.
Yeah.
You know, like you can force someone to think about it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like when someone instead of just kind of agreeing and being that type of like a yes man to people, or you know, yes person, if you will. You could really just kind of flip it and be like what you guys do. Like for me, like if I'm not hitting the gym and someone came up to me and I told someone like you, I was like,
the other day you didn't want to go to the gym and I said no one's gonna know. The only person who's gonna know you don't go to the gym is me and you.
Right. But like in right there, like you're not going to be like, hey, that's
get off your fucking ass.
Right. So you're not going to force me to go, but you're also not going to agree with what I'm doing because you know that that's not the right way to do it. Does that make sense?
I believe that's called a positive feedback loop.
Is that what it's called?
It's something.
Listen, I don't know anything.
Along the lines of like, I'm going to like be like, hey man, well if you go to the gym, you're probably going to feel a lot better about yourself when you go to sleep tonight.
Right.
And then you go to the gym and you feel a lot better about yourself when you go to sleep. And then you're like, oh, I'm going to do it again tomorrow.
That's funny. I actually read something earlier this morning that said that they've never seen someone or heard someone say. So, like, again, let me give a little background to it before I give the punchline to it. But like when you don't feel like going to the gym, but you force yourself to do it.
Yeah.
No one has been disappointed in themselves afterwards. For going to the gym.
I've never been disappointed. I mean, I've had bad lifts, but like I've never been disappointed. I've always been like, all right, well, I still went.
Well, you still went. Yeah, you still made a conscious effort. But yeah, so that's what I mean. Where like I feel like in women friend groups, there's not as much of that positive feedback.
They're just gonna keep lying to each other.
Right, and it could be like for anything. Like back to the gym example, like how you would provide something to me. That would provoke me to think about it and make the right decision within myself. Because obviously me not going to the gym is probably clouded by something else, probably an excuse.
Yes.
Right? So you provoke me to think again and I get past that excuse.
Yeah.
So the other side of that, I feel like it's commonly happens in women friend groups is like if a girl said to another girl she's not going to go to the gym and she responds to her with, okay, that's fine. You could do what you got to do.
Yeah. Like you'll go tomorrow.
Right. So like, which I get it. That's not really a cookie cutter solution because that answer does apply to certain situations.
Yeah.
But it's not it's a cop out to actually helping somebody, in my opinion.
Yeah. And
because I have had enough people around me that like even Dylan, for example, and even you, it's like at the end of the day, like when I come to you guys with like any sort of issue or problem, you guys will never, you guys will tell me, like, you'll give it to me straight, and you'll give it to me from another an outside perspective, and you'll give me more facts than I know, and it may not convince me. It may not make me think, so it may not like, or I may not change my mind from it, but whatever you guys say usually ends up making me think about it in a different light. And I usually end up coming to a better decision because of it.
Yeah. Something actually kind of like move past the gym example. Just like difference between male and female friend groups. My girlfriend said something to me the other day. She was like, "Oh, I was texting my buddy," and she's like, "Oh, like how is he?" I was like, "I'm sure he's all right." She's like, "What do you mean? Like you didn't ask him?" I was like, "No, like I'm sure he's good." And she's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Well, if he wasn't good, like he'd probably let me know." And she's like, "You don't like check up on your friends?" I'm like, "Well, I check up on them, but like even like when we were playing COD the other day, she was like, "Oh, how was everybody Thanksgiving?" And I was like, "I'm sure they were good." She's like, "Oh, like what'd they do for Thanksgiving?" And I was like, "I'm assuming they hung out with their family."
Right,
She's like, "You're not gonna ask them?" And I was like, "No."
No, because
And that doesn't mean I don't care.
right, and it's a misconception a lot of times where men just kind of shelter their emotions and feelings, which they do on a handful of on a good amount of occasions. But like for an example like that with a good friend, if I was seriously struggling with something, one of two things is going to happen. One, you're either going to notice it without me saying it, or I'm going to be like, yeah, man, I'm struggling with this, currently. But usually in those type of conversations, it's so constructive that like I walk out with a solution or I walk out with the start of a solution. But at the end of the day, you're right. Like I don't have to sit here with my like closest friends and always have to be like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah, like I don't need like if you're a good enough friend of mine, even through text, I can probably tell if you're not doing all right.
Right. Yeah, I mean it, and that's just kind of the way that it is. Now I get it for like other people, like maybe acquaintances, people that you're friends with that you're not always, that you don't consider that close, but they're still friends. Like I get it then. And to be honest, I fall short on this a lot of times too, where I probably should check up on people more, and I usually do. So like, but I don't do it every single day. I don't do it. I should do it more often than I do, but I do check up on people, because it is important. But it's not like it's a topic of conversation every time I have a conversation. Most of the time for guys, we pick up exactly where we left off.
Exactly. And I have had moments where male friends that I haven't seen in a while where like it did feel like we were just like catching up like old friends, but like with most people you just pick up where you left off. And right. I think that's an extremely valued trait in like the people I want to be friends with.
Well, I was explaining no, it wasn't to I can't remember who I was explaining it to. It was over Thanksgiving though, and I was talking to someone. I was telling them about me seeing Oleg in New York. And I was like, I haven't seen Oleg in almost like 3 years.
Yeah.
But getting there, we didn't even talk about what's happened in between. We literally just picked up and it was like we never left.
And something, yeah, like something that's also something I value. Like I've met a lot of your friends. You've met a lot of my friends from like home and other aspects of like not once has somebody introduced me to somebody that they were like, if you introduced me to Oleg, which you did, and Oleg's fiance and whatnot. And I was like, these are my friends now.
Yeah.
Like, and even if we weren't like really good friends and we were out in New York, they were like my bros. Like if something was bad was happening to them or something bad was happening to me, like best example I can give was my buddy, our mutual friend. There was a physical altercation at a football game when we were sophomores, and it was directed, the assailant was directed at me, of course. And it was, I'm not even gonna get into it. But I had just met my roommate's friends from home for the first time.
Yeah.
And they immediately were like, yo, like, what are you doing to our boy? Like, they like, I didn't even touch this guy. They beat the brakes off this guy. And I mean, dudes just do surround themselves and love violence, but like,
yeah, especially,
they and even if they didn't do it for me, they still did it.
right.
In my not necessarily in my honor, but they did it and it helped me out.
Yeah, well, you could also take that it could have been just an excuse for them to get in a fight, but
yeah, but also when it was over, they're like, "Bro, are you all right? You okay?
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck was that guy? Like, we got you. If he comes back, which he did, like, we got you." And they had me again. They beat the brakes off this guy twice.
And I've found people like that even just like in my endeavors, like going out. on the town and stuff where like something will happen like that, and it's like clearly the person's in the wrong, and you'll just have random people come back you up. I mean, I did that in St. Louis actually.
Yeah.
One time there's a fight.
St. Louis, you were on a different planet from what I hear.
Yes and no. Yes, I was. There was no to that. I was on a different level. But there was a point where there was a fight in the middle of the street and we were walking past it. And I watched this dude pretty much, I watched it kind of slowly start to happen. And this dude clearly walked up behind someone and like sucker punched him from behind.
Cheap shot.
Like a right hook from behind.
If you're going to punch someone, look them in the eye first.
So, and I saw like people that weren't even a part of that like go over, and I was like, bro, I can't let that happen.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah. But so this is a hot take, possibly. I think that there's more gaslighting that goes on from women to women than man to woman.
Gaslighting's not real, Steven. You're just crazy.
Fuck.
But no, on a serious note, I do agree with you. And it goes back to the point of like girls convincing themselves that like let's say a girl breaks up with a guy and she didn't really want to, but like her friends convinced her that he was in the wrong, this was the right thing for her. And she may have gone into that conversation not wanting to break up with her boyfriend, but she did anyway because she was like gaslighted into thinking she should.
Yeah, I've been third party to a lot of those, like, and just kind of watching it, and I'd be like, damn, I didn't have any investment in it, so I didn't really do anything. But being on the outside is like fuck.
Yeah.
Like, especially, one thing is like, it's great to value people's opinions, but you also have to understand where the opinion's coming from. So like, I hold you and Dylan's opinions slightly different when it comes to relationships. So 'cause Dylan doesn't really date.
Noted.
And
observed.
And you've been in a pretty long and serious relationship. So like, I understand where you guys are both coming from. Dylan's very intelligent. You're very intelligent sometimes.
Thank you.
But I'm obviously I know you got to know who it's coming from. You can't just take everything. And that goes back to what I've said previously before is like when you read something or when you see something, you should probably go and
like do your own research.
Do your own research and fucking figure it out for yourself.
Well, that is like a direct explanation of what my previous roommate, who would say to me in my previous relationship, which was years ago when I was having issues. He would come up to me and be like, "Hey, man," because he was also in a relationship at the time, different one than he is now, and he was like, "Hey, man, I'm gonna give you not solutions, but I'm gonna give you ideas and thoughts, but those are only based off of my own observations of my personal experiences. So they might not work for you, but at least it's something that you can think on."
Right, right.
It's like, so don't take this as like gospel, but also maybe think about it.
Right, right. And I understand that. And that's why I try to, whatever I do, even if it's relationship advice or if it's life advice or if it's fucking math advice, whatever it is, I try to take a larger sample size of people's opinions.
Yeah.
And then try to craft mine down so that I can get my thoughts straight so that I'm not, I'm not off base.
Yeah.
Or not totally off base. And I try to get in line. But it goes back to me. I'm an information-driven person.
Yeah.
I've always been an information-driven person. So, I mean, hell, I can't even fucking start a new movie without finishing it. Like, I don't know how people will sit there and watch, like, 20 minutes of a movie and then pause it and then, like, wait, like, weeks to watch the rest of it. I can't do that
almost
shit.
did that with All Quiet on the Western Front because I started it while I was at work on my second monitor.
Yeah.
And then I got, like, 20 minutes from the end and then left work. And it was like a week before I went back and watched.
It's fucking psycho, dude. I could never do that. That would be living rent free in my mind.
It was. To be fair, like if you watch the new rendition of All Quiet on the Western Front, like with like 20 minutes left, like it had pretty much wrapped up.
Yeah. Well, I guess in that.
But it didn't though. That's the thing. And then I was like, oh my god, like no, I waited a week, bro.
Right. But like, and it comes with shows too. This is why everyone's like, oh, you should watch this show. You should watch this show. I'm like, dude. I need to not start a show unless I have like a whole day
to
do nothing because I'm going to watch that entire fucking season.
You know what bothers me? My dad will be like, this was definitely more of a thing when movies were in theaters, like only in theaters. I'd be like, hey, let's go see this movie. And he'd pull out his phone. And we talked about this on an episode. I don't know if or when it's getting released, but he'd pull out his phone and he'd be like, oh, well, Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 50%. Oh, well, IMDb gave it a 7 out of 10. And we're like, who the fuck cares? I still want to go see it.
Right.
And he would be like, no, like, they said it was shit. And you know what? I might go see that movie and be like, wow, that was a waste of $13 and a large popcorn. But I wanted to see it and form my own opinion on it.
Right. And a lot of those like critiques, I mean, I totally understand. And even when I watch it, I can be like, yeah, I understand why I got what I got, but that doesn't mean that it's a bad movie.
Yeah.
You know, like you can still enjoy the movie even though it had like downsides. Because nothing's going to be perfect. Those ratings are meant to be critical. That's why it's called criticism.
Yes.
Critiques. You know.
Critics. And critics are just too harsh, man. I mean, look at the restaurant in Ratatouille. It was losing stars left and right, and then a rat fixed it.
A rat fucking fixed it.
Well, you
saw the rat in New York City.
We did. It was a big motherfucker. That was the cousin rat.
Yeah.
That was a big mother. I thought it was a fucking possum.
Dude, I rode the Ratatouille ride at Disney. I was at Disney back in the summer.
Yeah.
And I rode the Ratatouille ride.
I didn't even know they had one.
Yeah, I didn't either. And you sit in a fucking cart that has no track and you're a fucking mouse. And it's like, I don't know how the thing fucking moves around, but it's crazy. I don't know why it made me think. Well, we were talking about Ratatouille.
Well, so you gave your hot take. Here's mine.
Yep, go ahead.
So this actually comes straight from the mouth of my girlfriend.
Oh, yep.
And this definitely applies to a lot of people, and it took me a second to think on it. Men and women who are in a relationship should not have a other sex partner, not partner, like friend who they go to as like their personal therapist. So like if I'm a man in a relationship, I should not be going to another girl and like be treating her as my therapist, or like a girl
vice versa. Yeah.
And it took me a second, but I think that is 100% fucking true.
Yes. I see that. So like I didn't think about that until you
I'm not going to
it.
call you out, but you are guilty of that.
Yeah, no, 100%. But again,
and at points in my life, I was also guilty of that.
Right, but it goes back to me creating that larger sample size of opinions and thoughts on, you know, especially fresh ears, fresh eyes on subjects. But you're right, I am guilty of that. I shouldn't say it's, you know, like a personal thing, but I do know what you mean, because intentions.
Yes.
Because everything comes down to intentions. What are the intentions of the person that you're talking to?
And that's what I was going to get into, because I mean, every relationship is obviously different, but that is something my girlfriend said to me, so now I'm going to think about it. So like, I'm not going to ever do that. But
right.
Which I don't really have a lot of female friends anymore, at least. They're more of like my friends' girlfriends, which I'm not like personal friends with anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, I could count on one hand. I mean, it's not really a lot for me. Most of them are girlfriends of my friends or family.
And it does really just come down to intentions, because like let's say the girl that you're going to for advice isn't friends. This is really bad. Let's say the girl that you're going to advice isn't friends with your girlfriend.
Yeah,
so it's just some random girl that you're friends with, but is not friends with your girlfriend. Because one of my girlfriend's biggest like icks is when like her and I are at a bar or a restaurant or a party or whatever, and a girl will come up and say hi to me, but then like not even acknowledge her.
Yeah, well, because it goes back to intention. So like that girl, and this is something I actually again read this morning. I woke up super fucking early, so I was just on my phone for a while. But it was like they were talking about this girl saying that or he asked, like, have you ever friend zoned somebody?
Yeah.
And it's like,
I saw that clip.
Right. So, like, if you friend zone somebody, at one point, okay, that person saw you as a opportunity, let's say. So, now you're friends with them. You think that they're going to give you advice that helps your situation, or do you think they're going to give you advice that helps
them? Yeah.
So, you're right. And you do see that a lot. which is again, and then it's like, what do you do at that point?
Yeah.
So again, it goes back to what I said. You have to understand where or who you're talking to.
Yes.
Where is their opinion coming from? And as clouded as it may be, it takes time to figure that out for yourself.
Yes.
But you have to make that distinction, because if you don't, then you're going to have the wrong information. You're going to have the wrong thought about whatever it is that you're going through, no matter what it is.
I'm also not saying that everybody is evil and everybody has malintention. However, if your significant other asks you to do something, like, oh, I don't really like you, like, talking to that girl, just do it.
Right. It's respect thing.
Yeah.
It's a respect thing. I mean, to be honest, it really is.
And I've been guilty of not doing that in my own relationship.
Right. I mean, fuck, I was too. It's like,
damn, the Jets beat the brakes off the Bears.
Yeah.
Let's go.
But it's, tough day at the Zach Wilson camp, because
tough day at the office. I think I jinxed it.
Yeah, probably.
But maybe now he has more time to come and be a guest on the Alpha Club. Can we?
True.
Does he have a team?
Don't we have to get him and Young Gravy together?
That was something I mentioned, I believe, on episode 1.
Yeah, we could probably do that. I'll have my people talk to his people.
Yeah, your people are me.
Yeah, you're right.
And my people are you. So
when you put it that way, all right, we'll just
the team at Avinity Media, aka John and Steven.
Well, I mean, there is a whole team.
There is a team.
There is a whole team. Which, to be honest, I probably could be like, hey, you guys fucking make this happen.
Get Zach Wilson on the horn.
They do wonders on social media. I bet that they could probably figure it out.
Yeah. That'd be so fucking awesome. I mean, I don't even need Young Gravy. If we can get Zach Wilson in our living room,
that would be hilarious.
Zach, my boy, if you're listening,
yeah,
I love your work.
He would have a blast in Morgantown.
Oh, I'm sure. He went to BYU, right?
Oh yeah, you know what? Maybe not.
Well, the way he been acting.
You're right, actually. I didn't think about that.
It's like my buddy. I was like, I eventually put this together myself, and I'm not saying, like, I'm not trying to make like a political / religious statement, but I was like, are you a Mormon? And he was like, I'm the worst Mormon on the planet. And I was like, fair enough.
Yeah. But back to the topic. And well, we can wrap up that topic a little bit, but
I had one more thing, but it'll come to me. I forget.
Yeah, no, it's but it is definitely an intention thing. I mean, knowing the intention of whoever you're talking to, or knowing their life, especially if it's someone close to you and you can understand like where they're coming from, then you can kind of further develop. But also, just
there we go. Mike White, New York Jets Player of the Day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he won the game for them pretty much. But yeah, it's just don't take everything as gospel. You got to formulate your own opinion at some point, and your friends should be there to help you think about it in a healthy way. Yeah,
no decisions were made by two people. They were made by like a group of people.
Right. And it's like, at the end of the day, man, just fucking like truly think about it. And you gotta sit there, and you have to like, it takes a lot of weaving, man. You gotta weave through a lot of thoughts, a lot of negative thoughts, because let's be honest. It was another thing I read. It was Einstein. This is a class at Einstein. He went down the board, okay, and he started with 1 times 10, 2 times 10, 20, 3, 10. He did all the way to 9. And 9 times 10, he wrote 91. And the whole class was like, oh, that's wrong. You got it wrong. But no one, and he pointed out to everyone, no one pointed out all of these right ones, these 8 right ones in a row. But every single person pointed out the wrong one. And it kind of goes back to this, like, when you have a negative thought, it can very easily turn into like a crowd of negative thoughts, especially if you surround yourself with the wrong people that may also not be thinking correctly and might have negative thoughts of their own, and then they pour their negative thoughts into your negative thoughts. It's just a rolling effect.
Yeah.
So you have to understand that. You have to you have to come to the realization at some point that of that. It doesn't mean that it's a bad person.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that whoever you're talking to is a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it just means that maybe they're not in the right place either right now, and maybe that wasn't the right way, And I know that obviously I'm not in the right place, so I need to talk to somebody that is. I need to talk to more people.
Yeah.
I just need to not
Collectively gain more knowledge.
Exactly. It's human nature, man. I mean, you gotta. Well, not human nature, but it should be the goal of being a human to strive for gaining knowledge, gaining information.
Well, the good news is
enlightenment
for Einstein that people did point out that 91 or 9 times 10 was not 91, because I think the worst thing you could do is say nothing. They let it be just, oh, well, it's Einstein.
Right, right.
If he thinks it's 91, it's 91.
Right, yeah. The word, it would be actually that's probably a good debate.
Yeah.
Is it worse to say something or is it worse to not say something?
I think it's it's so much worse to not say anything.
Yeah.
Because imagine being like let's say you were fucking building something in the living room you got from like IKEA. And I like walk out of my room and I'm like, you're building that backwards.
That sounds familiar.
And when we built the TV stand, I wasn't building it wrong. It was just a bitch. But
dude, I walked out and I was like, I saw the whole living room just covered in shit, and I was like, bro, are you all right?
Oh, I was not okay. All that to watch Interstellar with surround sound.
Fucking worth it.
So worth it. But
fucking worth it.
If you're building your desk backwards, I'd be like, it's backwards. But I'm not gonna say anything because he's basically already done. But then like you're gonna get completely finished, and you're either gonna realize it yourself or you're not, and you're gonna have a backwards desk your entire life.
Wow, that is a great fucking analogy.
Is it actually?
Yeah, kind of. Maybe
Okay.
I'm just crazy, but that sounded like a great analogy.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, bro, we're gonna fucking somebody clip that.
Clip that. Yeah. Hey, guys in the booth, through the two-way mirror. I know you keep us locked in here to make content, but put that on a T-shirt. Thank you.
Speaking of merch, that's something I want to do at some point.
Merch.
Yeah.
I've
already got it. It's just
I'm not trying to be an ass, but you interrupted me and I had one more thought on that.
Yeah, no, go right ahead.
But I think I forgot it.
Oh, again?
Fuck, sorry. Backwards desk.
Do you want to have a backwards desk your whole life?
No, it was right before that.
When you're building something.
Yeah.
You got to that point, didn't you?
No. So someone could be like, well, maybe he intended to do it that way, and he's just a free thinker. Fuck off.
Fuck off.
It's a desk.
It's
There's
clearly
one way.
wrong.
Because I've built furniture from IKEA, and I've been like, oh, I fucked that one up. Now I gotta undo everything. Is it a pain in the ass to undo everything
Fuck
with
yeah,
those tiny little Allen keys they give you? Yeah, but
guess what, bro? Life fucking sucks sometimes, and you gotta fucking just do it. Man.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's not about the destination. It's about the journey.
The world doesn't stop spinning because of
backwards desk.
Because your backwards fucking desk. Just fucking change it.
And it's like no one. And it goes
Just
back to our
fix it,
original
bro.
point. No one's gonna realize it's backwards except
doesn't
for
mean
you.
Doesn't mean it's a faulty desk.
It just means
it was built wrong.
All the
rebuild
right pieces are there. They're just in the wrong place.
There it is, bro. Again.
Wow, I'm a fucking machine. I'm an academic weapon today.
Someone in this building is gonna get fucking mad and be like, "Why is this person yelling? Clip that!"
I'm an absolute academic weapon today.
Yeah, no, I love it. Well, we're rolling up close to an hour here, so if you wanna...
wow, yeah, this is a good episode so far. We pushed it. What are we at? I can't read.
It's 53.
53.
Right now?
I'm not trying to say we need to push this out longer, but we had something good going here. Any final thoughts? Maybe.
No, I mean that definitely wraps up. I would really love to hear some other viewpoints on that. So we'll probably bring up this topic similarly, at least again in the future.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is definitely food for thought.
Right.
Your opinions are valued here at the Alpha Club, kind of.
Yeah, unless it's not.
They're valued if I agree with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you want to convey your opinion, we have actually. I'm gonna just hold this in my hand.
Yeah.
We've actually received loads of positive feedback on the Alpha Club's initial pilot episodes. So if you like to speak your opinion, please refer yourself to the Alpha Club Podcast on Instagram. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Music, and I guess Instagram. Once we get a little better of a setup here, we might start doing some short form content clips to tease our episodes.
Yeah, we got a lot in store.
We do have a lot in store.
We wanted to get some content out to everyone, and we really do appreciate everyone that has taken the time to listen.
But if you hate us and our episode sucks, don't lie to us.
Yeah, I mean, fuck.
That's what this entire episode was about.
Right. Now, this one's definitely gonna turn some heads, but it is what it is, you know. And but yeah, so over the next couple weeks, couple months, we'll be rolling out loads of different ways we're gonna get content out to everyone. So just stay tuned. Follow that Instagram. Stay up to date.
You can expect at least, I'd say, 2 episodes a week. We don't have an upload schedule yet.
Yeah,
maybe Monday, Friday.
Probably
guide you into the week and guide you out.
That's not bad. I was even thinking, I kind of like it. We will hammer that down, and we will end up having a legitimate schedule. But you can expect 2 a week, at least.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, just go ahead and follow that Instagram. It should be at the Alpha Club Podcast or at Alpha Club Podcast on Instagram.
I'll find out right now just to lead people in the right spot.
Right. And the links in there, the links to Spotify and Apple Podcast are both on there. I'm working on getting Google Podcasts and also working on getting Amazon Prime as well.
That would be at Alpha Club Podcast.
Perfect.
No spaces.
Yeah. And then you can also, in the bio of that Instagram or John and I's Instagrams as well, you could probably follow those 2 just in case we have stuff that we put out individually regarding information and all that. But yeah, no, we appreciate everyone, and it's been an amazing first weekend having it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm super excited for what is coming in the future, and I can't wait for everyone to listen to us fucking talk about some random shit sometimes. But listen, you might learn something, and it might at least provoke you to think, or not. You know, I don't really care.
But for now, signing off on Sunday night, this has been SJ and Timo. Have a great week.
Good night.